Radius arm bushing. Should I press fit it in or should I use a bearing tool and knock it in? Okay, my only step today is to press fit this bushing into the radius arm with a small tweak to a homemade tool that I've recently seen. Well, I first saw the tool on Classic Mini Workshop. I saw it on BMC Workshop, and recently I've seen it on Tomo's Tune-Ups. Check their channels out. They're pretty awesome. They've got some good material. But I have decided to go the press fit way and with a small tweak to a homemade tool. Okay, so this is a homemade tool. Most everybody has seen it one time or another. This thing works rather well without having a shop press or other tooling. This guy works rather well. So what I've done is I went and bought a 12-inch, 1.5-inch threaded rod. I then took a nut, a top arm pin plate that I had from my restoration, and a large area washer, welded it all together, cleaned it up, and this is my homemade tool. Let me show you the tweak that I have for it. When putting the tool into the radius arm, you go down through the bearing, you come up through the bushing area. This threaded rod, while it works wonderfully, also has a lot of movement here. I did not like that amount of movement. When you put the assembly together, when you put the bushing on, you put the large area washer and the nut, and you start torquing that nut around, there's a heck of a lot of torque that's basically pushing and pulling this threaded rod in all direction. Now, yes, ideally it should stay centered, but you're not. You're pulling that wrench around the thing, and it's pulling this sucker like this, right? It can actually damage the edge of the bushing. Yeah, ask me how I know. I know. Of course, when lubricating the bushing, it does help tremendously, but I wanted to make a small improvement. So, let me get it here. It's in my hand. I took an existing 1-inch diameter nylon spacer and modified it. The idea is this will help ensure the threaded rod remains centered at all times. So here, let me take this guy out for the moment. See, this will go down through here like this. Here, let me take this out. And I will press fit this guy in. Alright, so here's the bushing. I've already started to press fit it in. I made it a fairly tight tolerance so that it would really hold the 1/2-inch rod. The idea is that after the bushing is pressed in, the nylon spacer will fall out through the bottom. If not, if need be, I can push it out. But I figure, let's see, I'm just going to tap it down. The idea is I figure to tap the spacer down probably about nearly the depth of the bushing. So, yay. I'm going to push it down probably about half. I'm going to push it down probably about half the depth of the bushing. And the bushing, as it's pressed in, it will push the nylon spacer the rest of the way through. But the idea is the entire time it will keep the threaded rod perfectly centered. So let's knock it down a little bit further. This is the nylon spacer that I'm pushing in. Okay. So I'm gonna put the rod through. Of course, now I've got to feed it through the 1/2-inch hole. But look, now there's no play. That sucker is centered and it's not going to move. So let's put the bushing. Right, got the bushing, got the large area washer, and we've got the nut. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of oil just around to help it go in. Not a lot. And let's start. So there's the nylon bushing. It's in there just as I expected. So now it's just a matter of tapping it all the way through. And voila. So the nylon bushing just tapped right out, stayed on the stud, and we're in good shape. All right, I think this small addition to this homemade tool is a keeper. I'm going to keep it all together because that nylon spacer is reusable. I have another one just in case I need to make one, but I thought that was beautiful, absolutely. And the end result, I don't know if you can see this, but it's perfect. No blemishes, nothing, no marring of the edge. It's beautifully press fit in. So I call that a success. So let me set this down. My next episode will be reaming that bushies, and let me tell you what, I'm flat excited about sharing what I believe to be the best reamer for the Classic Mini on the market. Yeah, so stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye just now.